Now we will round off any given number to the desired significant figures that we're looking for. So for example, if we have a number 71468, it means 71,468, and we want to round this number off to 4 significant figures. So what would be the answer once we round this number off to 4 significant figures? At first, 71,468, it has 5 significant figures. So if you want to round it off to 4 significant figures, we know that the significant figures would be the 70,000 and the 1,000 and the 4 and the 6, means we need to get rid of the last digit here. But we cannot just cut it away, because if you just take it away, it becomes 7,146. So this is a common mistake that everyone makes, because they're taught that if they want 4 significant figures, they could just take the 8 away. But the values change, the value of the number change, which is not permitted, because after you round off, the value of the number should be approximately the same. So what we have to do is actually we are going to round up the 8, because 8 is more than 5. So we are going to round it up so that we get 71,470. So it rounds up to 70. So because 8 is more than 5, so the 6 add 1 becomes 7. So we have 71,470. So from here we have 4 significant figures, because the 0 at the right hand side of the non-zero digit in the whole number, is not significant. Therefore we have 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. Another example, let's say 62,810. Original number we have 4 significant figures, because the 0 is not significant. And now we want to round it off to 3 significant figures. So if you want to round it off to 3 significant figures, the first one, the 6, the 2, you will get it, means we have 62,000. Now from 4 round off to 3, we need to get rid of the 1. So what we do is that we round it off. So if you round it off, because 1 is less than 5, so when you round it off, it doesn't add 1 to the 8, because 1 is less than 5. Therefore the 8 will remain, but now the 1, after we have done the rounding, then we get 0, 0. Then we have 3 significant figures over here, because 6, 2, 8, these 3 are significant, but the 0 is at the right hand side, so it is not significant. So this is 3 significant figures after we do the rounding. How about if we have 88,774? This number, we have 5 significant figures at first. So we need to round it off to 1 significant figure. So if you want to round it off to 1 significant figure, means we only have 1 here. We only want 1 number here, and all the others would become 0, because in whole number, the 0 at the right hand side of the non-zero digit, it is non-significant. So we know that the last 4 digits would be 0. It means that from the first digit here the second digit needs to be rounded off. And because the second digit is 8, which is more than 5, so it has to add 1 to the first 8 there. Therefore, we will get 9. Therefore, we have 90,000, right? 90,000, 90000, 4 zeros there. So 90,000, and this is one significant figure. So we have successfully rounded up to just one significant figure from 5 significant figures. And let's have more example, then you get the better picture on it. How about if we have 12,301? So here we have 5 significant figures. It should be written in red color. So here should be 5 significant figures. This is the original number. And we want to round it off to 4 significant figures. Let's do 4. So if we do the rounding, the 1, 2, 3, the first 3 would be remain. 1, 2, 3. So we know that if we want to get 4 significant figures, so from here, we'll look at the last digit, which is the 1, and then we round it off. So when we round it off, the 1 is less than 0. So if we round it off, we will get 1, 2, 3, 0, 0. Then this one, maybe let me write in blue color. So 1, 2, 3, 0, 0. So this number actually, it could be written in 3 significant figures or 4 significant figures. So in this case, it is 4 significant figures. It means that the 1 is significant, 2 is significant, 3 is significant, and the first 0 here, it is significant, but the last one is not significant. So this kind of number sometimes very subjective, because it could be, say, it has 4 significant figures, means that the 0 here is significant. Or you could say that it has only 3 significant figures, then the 0 here is not significant. So it depends on how we want to, how many significant figures that we are looking at. So be careful on this, because it's very subjective and it depends on the condition, right? So next one, let's have another one. If we have 23,651, this one we have 5 significant figures, and we want to round it off to 4, no, how about let's do 2 significant figures. Let's do 2 significant figures. Therefore, from here, if 2 significant figure, the first one would be fixed, which is the 20,000. So the question now is, we will look at the third digit here, which is the 6. So the last 3 digits would be 0, 0, 0. And the 6 here, because it's more than 5, so we have to round it off and add 1 to the 3, then we get 4. And that we get 24,000. So in this case, we will have 2 significant figures, right? 2 significant figures. And so once again, this is how we round off the number to the number of significant figures that we are looking at. So all these are whole numbers. So how about if we have decimals? If we have decimals. So if we have 15.456, this one we have 5 significant figures, and we want to round it off to 4 significant figures. So the key thing that how we round it off, a very simple step is that if you want 4 significant figures, so let's write down the first 3 significant figure first. So which is the 15.4. So 15.4, and we will do the rounding for the last 2. So because 4 significant figures, we need another one. So we have to look at the last digit here, and it is more than 5. So that we have to round it off and add 1 to the 5, then we get 6. Therefore, we get 15.46. So this is 4 significant figures. Same thing if we have 3.123. So we have 4 significant figures here. And we want to round it off to, how about if we have just 2 significant figures? So as usual, if we want 2 significant figures, let's write one figure down first, which is the 3 point. And now when we round it off to 2 significant figures, so we have to look at the 2 here. Okay, don't look at the 3, right? Look at the 2, means just beside the 1. So 2 is less than 5, so when we round it off, it becomes 0. So it doesn't add 1 to the 1 here, so we will just get 1. But don't write 0, because when you write 3.100, this will be 4 significant figures, because the 0 at the right hand side of the significant, the 0 at the right hand side of the non-zero digit in decimal numbers, these are significant. So don't write the 0, because the value will be the same, so we just take out the 0. So we get 3.1, and this is 2 significant figures. So take note of this, right? Take note of this. So now the next one, how about 0.000258? And we know that the 0 at the left hand side of the non-zero digit, all these are non-significant. So original, we have only 3 significant figures. And we want to round it off to 1 significant figure. So all the 0, we will write it back because they are not significant. So if 1 significant figure, we can't write down any number yet, because we have to round it off directly from here. So we look at the digit after 2, the figure after 2, which is the 5. So 5, which is equals to 5 or more than equals to 5. So when it is 5, then we have to round it off directly. If less than 5, then we don't have to round off. But if it is equals to 5, we have to round it off. So we have to plus 1 to the 2. Then we get 0.0003. Let's put in blue color. So to round this off, so 0.000, we write the 0 back, and then 3. So this one we have 1 significant figure. Right, let's do more example, right? 2 more, so that you get familiar with the decimal and how to round it off to the desired number of significant figures. Here we have 4 significant figures, and we want to round it off to 3 significant figures. So the 0 here is not significant, we'll just write it back. So 0.0. So 3 significant figures, we can write down 2 significant figures first, which is a 6 and 2. So we'll look at the last 2 digits now, which are the 3 and 5. So the next digit is 3, so we have to look at the last digit 5. So this is 5, so it means we have to round it off, so we have to plus 1 to the 3, then we get 4. So once again, don't write the 0. So this is 3 significant figures. So next one, 4.8. 4.320. So 4.320, here we have 4 significant figures because 4.32, the 0 is significant over here. Let's round it off to 1 significant figure. So if you want to round off to 1 significant figure, the first digit is 4, means we have to look at the next digit. So we couldn't write out any figure here because we just 1 significant figure. And 3 is less than 5. 3 is less than 5. Therefore, when you round off, it would become 0, but we can't plus 1 to the 4. So we get just 4. But don't write 4.0 because the 0 after the decimal, it is significant. Therefore, just write a 4. Therefore, if you just want 1 significant figure, after you round off, you get just 4. And this is how we do the round off to the desired number of significant figures. So try to rewatch this video, get used to the rounding, and you'll be in a very good condition to carry on in this standard form or significant figures concept.